JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, cops detain one person in connection to bomb threats. One person has been taken into custody after dozens of bomb threats to more than 70 institutions, mainly schools, between Thursday and Friday caused chaos and heightened fears and anxiety across the island. The police have determined that none was credible. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey on Friday said that the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has been asked to assist with investigations, but said that the threats so far have amounted to nothing but a hoax. At least 14 threats were made on Thursday, Bailey confirmed, warning that the police would ensure that every penalty applicable would be brought against the perpetrator. Late yesterday evening, Bailey revealed that a person whose identity was not disclosed had been taken into custody in relation to the threats made on Friday, as the multi-agency investigations being aided by international law enforcement partners intensified. We are convinced that it's a hoax, somebody just trying to be mischievous. The police are on top of it. We're doing our investigations, and whoever is responsible will ultimately be brought to justice, Bailey asserted. We are in touch with the FBI, soliciting their support in certain aspects of the investigation, he added. On Friday, Jamaica Teachers Association JTA President Leighton Johnson said the threats have revealed the vulnerability of schools, which he said are without a bomb or mass shooting protocol. A court building and a hospital were among the institutions targeted on Friday. All other institutions were educational. This has produced a heightened level of anxiety within our schools, said Johnson. The JTA president said that the Safety and Security Unit within the Ministry of Education must now draft protocols on how to respond to bomb and the similar security threats, pointing to other jurisdictions, including the United States and parts of Europe, where he said they exist. Teachers and the students indicated that situations were chaotic, simply because persons were not aware of how to operate. Criminals have stepped up their game, whether hoax or not, whether it is in an attempt to cause chaos, distract and disrupt the system for a couple of days. Whatever the situation is, everybody needs to know how to act going forward. The time is now, Johnson urged. We're in a global space. It's only a matter of time before what impacts other nations impacts us, as unfortunate as it sounds, the JTA president said, adding, it is time that we arm ourselves. Fisherman murdered, friend injured in alleged flour for cocaine scam. A Clarendon man remains hospitalized in serious condition following a fatal shooting Thursday that has been linked to a reported flour for cocaine scam. Akeem Thompson, a 25-year-old fisherman, was killed in the incident, which took place in Coffler's racecourse in the parish. Thompson was also known as Logan, hailed from Banks District in Clarendon. Reports are that about 7:30 p.m., both Thompson and the man were walking along a roadway when three vehicles, including a white Toyota Probox motor car, pulled up near them. Men alighted and opened gunfire. Thompson and the man reportedly ran into bushes, but they were chased and shot. The perpetrators reportedly escaped in the waiting motor vehicles. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, both men were seen suffering from gunshot wounds and were taken to hospital, where Thompson was pronounced dead and the other man admitted. Both men received gunshot wounds to the upper body. The attack stemmed from a reported flour for cocaine scam that took place a day before the shooting, a police source said. Police say the scam, with often deadly outcomes, has plagued the southern sections of Clarendon for years. Murder suspect shot dead by police in Mobay. A man suspected of committing a triple murder in Montego Bay, St. James last month, was fatally shot, and an illegal gun seized on Princess Street late Friday. His identity has not been released. It's reported that about 7:30, the St. James operational team responded to a request for assistance from members of the Quick Response Unit as they were in the process of apprehending a man who had been seen with a gun. The man was reportedly driving a motorcycle and ignored the command of the police to stop. The chase ended on Princess Street when the man allegedly opened fire at the police and was shot. He died at hospital. Superintendent Aaron Samuels, the commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, said investigators believe the man was a suspect being sought in connection with a recent shooting in St. James. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has reportedly launched an investigation into the matter. His death comes just days after a state of emergency was declared in the parish and several curfew points established.
We believe that the suspect that was shot and injured and succumbed to his injuries We believe that he is linked to a triple murder that occurred in the township approximately a month ago. And he fits the description based on what we are getting and picking up of the person who did that shooting in the Samsat Square area. So we are happy that we are able to rid the streets of one more illegal firearm.
Man killed during gun attack at St. Catherine construction site. A man was shot dead while working on a construction site at Silverson Estate in Innswood, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Friday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as 37-year-old Comoy Beckford, otherwise called Ross, a construction worker, from Mansfield Avenue in Homestead in the parish. A suspect has been held in connection with the incident, the police said. Information received indicate that around 1:05 p.m., Beckford and other men around the construction site were not sponsored upon by a group of men. The men, police said, pulled guns and opened gunfire on the now deceased, hitting him in the upper body. The men then ran away, but the suspect was chased and apprehended. Police rushed to the site and found Beckford lying on his back in an unfinished house. He was wearing a red sweater, black shirt, blue jeans pants, and a pair of black socks, and had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the head and upper body. The suspect was handed over to the authorities and escorted to the Spanish Town police station. Beckford's body was removed to the Spanish Town hospital, where it was confirmed dead, and later taken to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Gun and ammo seized in Constant Spring. Following a police operation in Akiwalk, Constant Spring, St. Andrew on Friday, a man was taken into custody while a pistol and several rounds of ammunition were seized. Reports from the police saw that about 6:30 a.m., lawmen carried out an operation in the area in which one Glock pistol with 15 9mm rounds of ammunition were found. An additional 34 5.56 rounds of ammunition were also seized. His identity has been withheld pending further investigations. Jury's sudden death throws wife into shock. In a matter of hours, Tricia Fagan's life was turned upside down. One moment, the Sherwood Content Trelawney native was going about her regular daily activities. The next, she was grieving upon discovering that her husband of 1.5 years, 46-year-old Louis, had collapsed and died suddenly on Thursday while serving as a juror at the Trelawney Circuit Court in Duncans. When me get the call, them never did tell me say him dead. Can you imagine what me feel when me reach hospital and find out say him dead? She questioned. Louis was one of 7 jurors serving on a case for which a man is charged with grievous sexual assault, buggery, and having sex with a minor. From day one, Tricia says her husband was never interested in serving as a juror and that is complicating her feeling about his sudden passing. Worse yet, Louis has had an uneasy feeling while dealing with this particular case, suffering from several bouts of headache. On occasion, she even advised her partner to get a checkup, but he was non-compliant. Me no know what he say. Him never want to be no juror. From the case start, him start complaining about headache. Me tell him to go to doctor, but him say him alright. See it and know him dead, Tricia said with sadness in her voice. Louis had 5 children, the last a toddler, for whom Tricia will only be able to share the memories of dad's deeds. Him had 5 children, but this one who grew up and know no father, Tricia shared, adding that she had a good relationship with his other children. Like her, news of their father's sudden and unusual passing has left them without words and loss of spirit. Me and him had a pity them move good, I mean I see them face, but them voice them say them not taking it too well, Tricia said. It's a fact, brought out in one of his daughter's refusal to comment as she was in shock and in no mood to talk. At the court, personnel working at the time said as word spread about the incident, there was much panic, with persons trying to help, even though the situation did not look promising from the outset. I never saw him faint, an inspector of police said, noting that it was his first experience of that nature. When I went into the room, him never looked good. I made arrangements to have him taken to the Duncan's health clinic. Later I heard he died, he lamented. Me never come close to having that kind of experience before, the inspector added. A probation officer who works closely with the court system said he was convinced of Louis' fate, having got his first look. When it happened, people just run up and down, he said. When I look at him, I could see he was dead. Public overreacted on Friday to bomb threats, claimed security consultant. Security consultant Mark Shields believes the closure of schools and the courthouse on Friday due to bomb threats was unnecessary, as the police have already revealed that the threats issued through emails were hoaxes. Shields, speaking in an interview, said while it was important that the threats be taken serious on the first day, it had become clear by the second day that the credibility of the threatening emails was low.
So I think, on reflection, it is a total overreaction today to be sending kids home from school, sending all this extra stress to parents, teachers, and everyone else connected with the schools. I think yesterday, for sure, let's see what happens, but we've actually had a clear direction from the Jamaican Constabulary Force that it's a hoax. And when I've seen the email, and it obviously is a hoax. This person could hardly write properly. It was not a credible threat, and I think that there was a total overreaction today from all of the schools.
Government Senator wants stiffer penalties for those who harbor wanted men. Government Senator Charles Sinclair is calling for stiffer penalties for those who harbor wanted men. He made the call during his contribution to the State of the Nation debate in the Upper House on Friday. Senator Sinclair began his presentation by condemning the vicious murder of 3 people, including 2 young schoolboys in Salt Spring in St. James.
I trust that our security forces and every right-minded Jamaican will ensure swift justice is delivered, commencing with their capture. They must find no comfort, Mr. President. They must find no comfort in any hole into which they have slithered, and I use that term deliberately. Mr. President, as we undertake the task of looking at penalties for offences, I am proposing a look at the offence of harbouring a fugitive. Once our law enforcement identifies and publishes a suspect as wanted, even, Mr. President, the mere supplier of a glass of water in comfort and protection of those wanted persons to keep him out of the hands of the police must incur severe penalties. This administration, Mr. President, has exhibited the courage, the fortitude to take all steps to cauterize the bloodthirst of those who create mayhem, including the use of the state of public emergency. And I cry shame on the opposition. With the rise of their new leader of the opposition, whenever the measure is used which has proven to protect the lives of Jamaicans, it is opposed. When severe sentences for heinous and destructive offences are proposed by the administration, there is opposition. Mr. President, something is wrong with their equation. To me, it is simple. You don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Too many excuses are made for criminals. Everything and everyone else is to blame for their action. And interestingly, Mr. President, they would not wish for anyone else to do the same act to them.
JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.